Right, for those who watched part 1 of this video, you will know that we have returned to South Africa for a few months to visit family and sort some business things out here. Well, South Africa is politically difficult. The country is struggling with an ever-increasing poor population, and for the sake of avoiding political debate, well, let me just say that it is very sad to see folks struggling with little to no income. So we took to the countryside in South Africa to visit a friend of ours, Irma, who told us of a lady doing some incredible voluntary work to encourage the kids on a farm school to become involved in the arts. Mary is an incredible lady, and we will cover more about her and the project that she is engaged with in a future video. Well, I thought to share this with you all, since it is currently what we are involved in. It is so special to see ordinary people reaching out to help others in need. If we all did our part in society, what a beautiful and caring world this would be. Anyway, here we are. We've been asked to share more videos with you all, so best I get along with it. Very good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm good, thank you.
Are we good?
Yes.
Where are we going this morning?
We are going off to Buffelskloof.
Yeah?
To the farm school because they're going to do some ballet.
They're going to do some ballet?
They're going to do some ballet. So if you want to come see them, follow me.
I think this sounds awesome. Let's go, man.
So long. Come, let's have a big hug. My bride.
Lovely.
Good morning, good morning. So lovely to see you. Goodness me. I haven't seen you for so long, hey?
Stretch your arms and your fingers and hands, squeeze them in and let them out again. Let's all do my first ballet warm-up dance.
And it just goes to show how much of a positive impact we can have if we just share the love, man. Well, anyway, guys, from our time in South Africa and now back to the oceans and our Catamaran IMPI, we hope you enjoy.
Listening to
Okay, so in part 1 of this movie, you would have seen that we had arrived from the Marquesas Islands to the Tuamotu Archipelago, one of our favorite cruising grounds in the world. When one looks at a map of the planet, well, it seems as if there is nothing in this region of the Pacific Ocean. Zoom in closely, and you'll be surprised to discover these atolls. For me, this is a mysterious-looking natural wonder of our planet, and something I really wanted to discover. There are so many atolls, but I think let's start here with the atoll which is one of my favorites, called Fakarava. Fakarava is the second largest of the Tuamotu atolls, and a great place to start is right here on the southern side of the atoll Fakarava. Well, one enters here through the pass Tetamanu, Also a great spot to dive with sharks, and of course here lies the beautiful Tetomanu village. Well, diving the sharks in Whakarava is an experience never to be missed. These sharks have an abundance of food, which apparently is reason enough to swim with them, since you are not required on today's menu. Well, an awesome moment, I will never forget this, and this beautiful area being registered with UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. There is so much to share around Whakarava, it would take hours. The place is spectacular and definitely a spot every yacht should visit when passing through the Tuamotu Archipelago.
Oh, this is amazing! What a lovely little spot this is. Well, it's time to go back to IMPI, but this has just been an amazing spot to swim, relax.
Moon rising
just an amazing place, the Tuamotus. Another delightful atoll just south of Fakarava is Tahania. Well, this atoll is totally uninhabited. In fact, we saw very few yachts here, and for the most part, IMPI was the only yacht. Well, we were the only inhabitants for weeks. Okay, now you may wonder why I am showing you this footage I took in the Bahamas. Well, for one, it describes the cuts or entrances and exits well. It describes how movement of water flows through atolls. It shows the flow of water from a higher to lower level as it gets squeezed through a narrow outlet or passage, sometimes referred to as a cut. Well, in the Bahamas, not too common, but with atolls, very common.
I see earthquakes and lightning. I see bad times today. Don't go around tonight.
Well, back in the Tuamotus and back at Tahania, these atolls are enclosed rings of coral reef surrounded by a deep ocean. Inside the lagoon, these sunken islands result in a shallow atoll floor with numerous little islands remaining, but the lagoon is shallow. Now, tidal influence plays a role here. For example, as tides move from high to low, the expanse of the ocean drops in level surrounding the atoll. Due to narrow passages in the reef perimeter, water trapped in the atoll, the volume of water cannot escape fast enough to maintain the level of the surrounding ocean. Well, this results in water being squeezed out from the lagoon toward the ocean. You can imagine all this pressure as water tries to make its way to the sea through these narrow passages, the deep ocean just beyond, a shallow lagoon on this side. Well, this all makes for turbulence, and a prudent sailor waits or times an entrance sometime close to or after the change in tide when the water has been in equilibrium, sometimes allowing for momentum of flow to ease.
Take your life. There's a diamond on the rise. Hope you got your things together. Hope you're quite prepared to die.
Well, eventually one enters the lagoon. One can still see the water flow is running pretty strong, but nice and calm. Well, there we are. We had entered the atoll of Tahania, dropping anchor in sand between these massive columns of coral spirals. Now, folks, unlike part 1, where we recorded a touch and go of places we sailed to, well, here we are sharing more of the Tuamotus before moving west. The reason is simply because these atolls provide a unique perspective from the usual cruising grounds that one will find out there, and we wanted to share this with you before moving west. Now, at this stage of our journey, video work was something we were not accustomed to, and we're mostly taking photos and writing blogs. So, hoping not to bore you, let me share the photos we took here at Tahania on our second visit, a return visit from the Society Islands to the Tuamotu Archipelago, where we spent a second season. So something which drew us to Tahania in the first place was that we wanted to see the nearly extinct Tuamotu sandpiper. Now, Tahania was declared a nature reserve mostly to protect the nearly extinct Tuamotu sandpiper, which I was fortunate to photograph here. Now, many ornithologists or people who study birds have reported 200 of these birds left in the world, and claiming this among the last of the few atolls known where the Tuamotu sandpiper is still to be found. Well, endemic to the Tuamotu sandpiper has been killed off by wildcats, rats and other predators, so in Tahania, the atoll has been cleared of all these predators. There we go. Well folks, I hope I did not bore you with a lack of video footage here, but for us the Tuamotu Archipelago is still one of those very special visits. Many sailboats use the Tuamotu Islands as a stopover, spending maybe 2 or 3 days there before westing toward Tahiti and the Society Islands. Well, we return to this region for a second sailing season and are contemplating another visit here. Now, in our next episode, which will be part 3 of Sailing Around the World, I will briefly share 1 or 2 more special places in this region before sailing west for the Society Islands. Well, thank you for joining us here. We wish you all the love in the world. IMPI out.
Lord Almighty, I feel my temperature rising higher and higher, burning right through to my soul. Girl, 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 you're gonna set me on fire. My brain is flaming, I don't know which way to go. Your kisses lift me higher, like a sweet song of a choir. You light my morning sky, burning love. Ooh, 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 feel my temperature rising. Help me, I'm flaming, must be 109. Burning, 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 and nothing cool me. I might just turn